Hello friends, welcome you all. Good morning. Today I am going to explain you the structure of Indian banking or Indian banking system. So at the apex, Reserve Bank of India is there. RBI is the Central Bank of India, which is the apex bank or the highest authority to control banking system in India. So it is a Central Bank of India and we called it apex bank, Reserve Bank of India. Under we can make the diagram or chart, that is under that we can categorize scheduled banks and unscheduled bank or non-scheduled banks. So there are two types of categories made by Reserve Bank of India, that is scheduled bank and non-scheduled bank. So later on we are going to discuss what is scheduled bank and non-scheduled bank. Then under the scheduled banks we can make two categories, that is commercial banks and cooperative banks. So there are two important categories. Under the commercial banks we have public sector banks. 26 public sector banks are there in India. Then private sector banks, 21 banks are there. Then foreign banks, then regional rural banks. Under the public sector banks there are Reserve Bank of India's associates bank were there, but now the associates banks of SBI merged into Reserve State Bank of India. Then other nationalized banks under public sector banks, and other public sector banks 1, and other nationalized banks are 19. So these are the public sector banks. Private sector banks we can make two categories, that is old banks and new banks. Then foreign banks are there. Then regional rural banks are there. In bracket the figure shows the number of banks, that is foreign banks are 36. So this is the near the these are the tentative figures, not actually not updated figures. So these are the tentative figures, recently not updated. Then regional rural banks are there. Under the second category, under cooperative bank there are urban cooperative bank, then state cooperative banks. Then there is the three tier structure, that is at the top there is the state cooperative bank, then district central cooperative bank, and then primary agricultural society or the urban cooperative bank and rural cooperative bank. So this is the just the glance of Indian banking system. So let us discuss one by one. Share in the banking space. So what is the share of which bank? Public sector bank have 26 public sector banks are there. Number of branches are 67,000 branches. Then percentage of share in the total banking industry in India is 83, almost highest in the all of the bank. Then market share of asset 72%. Then private sector banks have only 20% share, total 16.6% share, and the in the total asset 20.2%. Then foreign bank have less than 1% market share, that is percentage share in the number of branches is only 0.4, and the in case of market share of asset 7%. So there are 87 banks are there, types of banks there, and number of branches are 81,241, and market share is 100%. So first let us discuss from the Reserve Bank of India. First bank, apex bank, central bank. So it is established in 1935. It is apex body of Indian banking system. headquarters is in the Mumbai, and India's monetary authority means it controls whole the banking system and monetary system in India, or it is a monetary authority that prints money and issue currencies. Then supervisor of financial system. Then it issues currency, we have discussed. It is a banker's bank. It works or act as a banker's bank, and it also acts as a banker to the government also, and it maintains financial stability through its various policies and various uh, monetary policies and various regulations and orders to the banks. The second category we had made, that is scheduled banks and non-scheduled banks. So what are the scheduled banks? Scheduled banks are those banks whose name appear in the second schedule of Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. So keep in mind that the scheduled banks are those banks whose names appear in the second schedule of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. And what are the non-scheduled banks? Non-scheduled banks are those banks whose name does not appear or not listed in the second schedule of Reserve Bank of India 1934 Act. So these are the two important categories. Then under the scheduled banks we can make the commercial banks, the next category. Commercial banks, we can define any banking organization that deals with the deposit and loans of business organization. So commercial banks issue bank checks and drafts as well as accept money on term deposit. So commercial banks also act as money lender by way of installment loans and overdrafts. So commercial banks also allow for a variety of deposit accounts such as checking, savings and time deposits. So these institutions are run to make a profit and owned by a group of individuals. So commercial banks mainly work for the profit. Next category is public sector banks. So public sector banks are those banks which are owned and controlled by the government. So all the nationalized banks, nationalized means under the these banks were the private banks before nationalization, and after nationalization these banks come under the control of the government. So all the nationalized banks and regional rural banks are public sector banks. For example, State Bank of India is 7 subsidiaries. Now these 7 subsidiaries merged into State Bank of India. Then Bank of Baroda, Syndicate Bank, Vijaya Bank, Canara Bank, then Bank of India, Allahabad Banks, then Punjab National Banks, Andhra Banks, Bank of Baroda, Bank of Maharashtra. These are the public sector and nationalized banks. So here the list, you can see the bank name and establishment year. You can take the screenshot of it. Allahabad Bank, then Andhra Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India. The establishment year also mentioned here, and headquarter and the branches also mentioned here. So these are the public sector banks. Then discuss the next category, private sector banks. These banks are owned and controlled by private institutions or individuals and not by the government. So what are these banks? South Indian banks, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, then Axis Bank, etc. So these are the private sector banks. So here the list of private sector banks. Axis Bank established in 1993, Bandhan Bank established in 2014, Catholic Syrian Bank in 1920, Headquarters here given, and the branches are given in the next column. So these are the private sector banks in India. Then next category we can discuss is foreign banks. So these banks are formed and registered in foreign countries and have their head office in foreign countries. So foreign banks are those banks who have their head office in the foreign country. So in India, as far as India is concerned, any bank registered outside India and have a branch in India is a foreign bank. So examples are Citibank, HSBC, Dutch Bank, etc. These are the this is the list of foreign banks. This is the list of the foreign banks. Then we can make the next category, that is regional rural banks. So the regional rural banks were established in India under RRB's Act 1976. So there are total 56 Gramin rural banks, regional rural banks in India. We can say the Maharashtra Gramin Bank, Aurangabad Jalna Gramin Bank, and Thane Gramin Banks. So these are the regional rural banks established in under the Special Act in 1976 to focus a particular region and to focus the marginal farmers, artisans, and development of the weaker section in India. This is the list of uh, regional rural banks. Andhra Pragati Gramin Bank, then Assam Gramin Vikas Bank, Bihar, Uttar Bihar Gramin Bank, then Arunachal Pradesh Rural Bank, Chhattisgarh Rajya Gramin Bank, Gujarat Dena Gujarat Gramin Bank, Baroda Gujarat Gramin Banks. So in Maharashtra, Maharashtra Gramin Bank, then Vidarbha Konkan Gramin Bank, etc. This is the list in which states how many banks are there, Gramin banks are there. Next category is we can recently merged category of banking, that is small finance banks. What are these small finance banks? These banks is a specific segment of banking created by Reserve Bank of India under the guidance of Government of India with an objective of furthering financial inclusion. Financial inclusion means those who are not getting the benefit of the financial development or financial sectors benefit. Uh, Mainly these are the weaker sections and those who are not getting the benefit of banking sectors. So primarily undertaking basic banking activities to unserved and underserved sections including small business units and small and marginal farmers, micro and small industries, and unorganized entities. So those who are out of the or those who are unserved, the established banking not served to these sections, and under sections, under served sections means those who are not getting benefit of established banks. So that's why to fulfill their need, Government of India introduced small finance banks. So marginal, small and marginal farmers are there, small business units are there. So like other commercial banks, these banks can undertake all banking basic banking activities including lending and taking deposits. So here is the list of some small finance banks: AU Small Finance Bank, Capital Small Finance Bank, Equitas Small Finance Banks, then Jana Lakshmi Small Finance Bank. So Ujjivan Small Finance Banks. These are the uh, at least these are the small finance banks in India. Then next category is cooperative banks. The cooperative banks in India are well established financial service organization. The first legislation on cooperative was passed in 1904. From 1904 onward, many cooperative banks established. In 1914, the McLagan Committee structured three-tier structure of cooperative banking, that is primary agricultural credit service or society, that is we called it PAC, at the grassroots level, central cooperative banks at the district level, and state cooperative bank at the state level or apex level. And these cooperative banks functions under the NABARD, that is National Agriculture and Rural Development Banks, or National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. The first urban cooperative bank in India was formed nearly 100 years back in the Baroda. So cooperative bank have three-tier structure, and they have a long history in India. So this is the list of cooperative bank. These are the state cooperative banks. That is Andaman Nicobar State Cooperative Bank, then Arunachal Pradesh, then Assam Cooperative Apex Banks. These are the state cooperative banks. These are the urban cooperative banks which are established in urban areas. This is the list. Next is development banks. So development banks, what are the development banks? Development banks are established to develop a specific area or to finance a specific area. For example, SIDBI, that is Small Industrial Bank of India, that is it finances to the small industries or small businesses. So for example, Exim Bank finances to the export and import, so that export and import or international trade area can be developed. So a development bank do not have the profit motives. They work for the benefit of the nation or interest of the nation, and they have the motive to develop a particular area. And most of the development bank established under the special act of the government of India. So development banks, like commercial banks, do not have the profit motive, and most of the development banks financed by the government or Reserve Bank of India to develop a specific area in the economy. So here is the structure of development banks. First is Industrial Development Bank. Industrial Development Bank established for develop a industrial sector. So at the all India level, for large scale industries, there is IFCI, then IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, then IRBI, and ICICI. At the small scale industries, for small scale industries, there is the SIDBI, that is Small Industrial Bank of India, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, and NSIC. At the state level, state finance corporations, then SIDC, SIICs. So these are the at the state level. Then agricultural area have development banks, that is all India level. NABARD is there. Then at the state level, SLDB is there, and at the local level, PLDB and branches of SLDBs are there. In case of export and import development banks, all India levels, Exim Banks is there. So these are the development banks to develop a specific region. So friends, that much in this today's lecture. We have discussed the structure of banking in India. uh, if you have any question queries, then let me know. Take the screenshot wherever you find it necessary. So thanks, and see you in the next lecture.